I remember one night on my way home from work when I was 18 years old in New York City in Brooklyn. I had to take an L train home, and it was dark, and the platform was totally empty. There was nobody on either side of the platform. And I remember suddenly thinking to myself, oh my gosh, and if somebody came up here and murdered me, nobody would even see it. And I had no way of defending myself. And I thought, oh my gosh, they wouldn't even hear me scream. So I suddenly became like petrified with fear. I was like, didn't know what to do. So I was like looking around at all the different things on the wall and the posters. And there was one right across, directly across from me on the other side of the platform. And it said, every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. So I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And I said, okay, I'm going to read it over and over again. Just maybe it'll make me feel better. And I kept reading it over and over again. He is a shield to them that put their trust in him. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need a shield. So I started just like praying and saying, God, please, please, I'm going to trust in you right now. If you promised you'll be my shield. So you promised that if I trust in you, that you would be my shield. And I did. I trusted. I said, I'm trusting in you. You better keep your promise. And all of a sudden, I felt this like warmth come from my heart. And it just like kept spreading out. And I felt like as though there was a bubble of light around me. And all of a sudden, I wasn't afraid. And I felt like relaxed. I wasn't scared anymore. And just then, the train came, and I was able to go. And the whole time, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not afraid. I was just really grateful, so grateful that God kept his promise. And he does keep his promises. So anyway, another thing. So I was thinking about, okay, you've heard, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Well, I was thinking about, if God has not given us a spirit of fear, where does that fear come from? I thought, well, some people would say, it's from the devil. Okay. Well, this is interesting because I've studied Hinduism and all different religions. And in the Hindu religion or language, they don't have a word for devil like we do. The word they use instead is the word Maya, which means illusion. And when you think about it, they call the devil the father of lies. Well, what are lies? Lies are illusions. Lies cover the truth. So you don't see it like the magician, the sleight of hand. They make you think one thing while they're doing something else somewhere else. So anyway, so a lie covers the truth. Now, the Maya, the illusion, is the illusion that this world is the only world that is the truth. That there's only the 3D reality, everything we can touch or smell or see or whatever with our physical senses. So anyway, so the Maya is the illusion that causes us to believe a lie. So basically, it's our beliefs. We believe the lie that makes us believe that there's only this reality. Now, what's interesting too is that there's a tarot card called the Devil card. And in it, if you look at it, it has the classic image for the devil. And below him are these two human figures, a male and a female. and they're standing there looking dejected. And they have big chains around their neck that are connected to the devil. Now, this is the secret of that card. Those chains around their neck are so large they could just lift them over their heads and be free. They could lift them right off their head. But because they think they're trapped, they never escape. So that's the whole secret. They're believing the illusion that they're trapped. And that's what the devil card represents. It reminded me of something funny my daughter said one day. She was 3 years old and had just started a new preschool. And I asked her on the end of the day, I said, "How did it go today, honey? What happened? What happened?" She said, "Well, there was this big kid who came over to me and he said, 'I'm bigger than you are.'" And I said, "What did you do? What did you do? What happened?" She said, "I just told him God's bigger." Anyway, I hope that you guys are having fun. See you later.
I remember trying to figure it out. I was in prison just trying to get out. But now I'm FRE free. And I lost track of time when you were mine. I lost track of time when you were mine. I lost track of time.